I do not like chapter meetings. But my favorite part would be the sisterly love aspect of the organization. At the end of the day, we're all sisters. We weren't born from the same mother or anything, but we're genuinely true sisters who love each other. I know it kind of sounds cheesy, but it's real.
My favorite thing about my fraternity is I didn't have to change who I was after I joined. I was Alton Smith before college. In New York, I'm still Alton Smith, and they don't expect anymore. In fact, they embrace it, and I would like to say that's probably what I enjoy most about my fraternity.
I think my favorite part about my sorority is conferences. I enjoy when everybody is able to get together, not just chapter, but members from around the state. I really enjoy being able to see us all working together for this kind of common purpose. It really means a lot to come together with a large group of people for one common purpose. You can feel it in the air. So conferences are probably my favorite.
I think my favorite thing about my organization is it goes back into the motto again, building tradition, not resting upon one. When my profiles talk to me, they ask me where I would like to take the organization, not where has the organization already been, why are we continuing that path. So it gives me a lot of freedom to take it to my greatest dreams.
Why does it seem more secretive to join the NPHC versus other councils?
I mean, all right. Okay, honestly speaking, our organizations, when we were first founded or whatever, pledging was above ground and it was visible for everybody to see. And there were strict guidelines that a person had to be in order to join organizations, and that's just the history part of our organization. And we would like to keep some of our history, even though we've abolished pledging and hazing, and we're all non-hazing organizations. But that's just the history of our organization, and we've come to change it, but we still like to keep some of the culture and tradition of our council and our organizations.
Okay. I'll say I think, at least for us, for Alpha Kappa Alpha, it's a very personal decision. And like I said, for us, it's lifelong commitment. It's not something that you just do temporary and throw it out the window. And I think, I know for me, when I was going through my process, keeping it private just kind of kept me focused on why I was doing it. It kept me kind of in some kind of special place. I knew I was doing it for myself. I was doing this organization, and it just kept me focused. It allowed me to eliminate everything else. I didn't have to hear talk from other people's opinions and all that. So at the end of the day, you're doing it, and it's your process. So that's why I would say.
The thing about our organization, well, my organization specifically, like we hold a lot of things prideful to ourselves. And honestly, like coming through a process and everything with intake process and everything, it's not for the world to know. It's for you, yourself, God, and the members of the organization that you're trying to become a part of. It's not for the world to know. So definitely keep it to yourself. We're not, as you can see, like the way how this campus is, we're not like IFC and Penn Hellenic at all. Like there's a lot of different things that we go through that they don't necessarily go through. So definitely keep it to yourself. Just keep it to yourself.
I think one of the things that makes it seem like we're more secretive than the other councils on this campus is the fact of the probate. We would like it to be a surprise to everyone, when that line is presented to the world. We don't want to be like, oh man, I already knew that. It's like, it's that shock factor. And I mean, as far as like the other councils, I wouldn't even say we're more secretive than them, because I'm sure you can't tell me anything any of those organizations are part of the other councils do to obtain to obtain membership, you know what I mean? It's just the fact that we see them around campus, they're wearing their ties or they're doing whatever that, and it indicates to us that they're partaking in intake.
The only real difference between IFC, Hellenic, and our MGC and NPHC groups is the membership intake process. All of these groups have rituals in which they keep secretive, so none of the NPHC groups have heard or seen anything about the IFC or Panhellenic secret ritual ceremonies or things that they do, and that's vice versa. So the only thing that's really different is the membership intake processes and how you would go about obtaining membership into those organizations.
Would there be any point in your college career where it's too late to go Greek?
No, it's never too late. It's not. I mean, that's just basically the answer to the question. It's never too late. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how old you are or when you join the organization. All that really matters is your intrinsic qualities, like your intrinsic motivation or wanting to become a member of that organization. Not so much when you're trying, because at the end of the day, you have a common goal, which is to uplift the Black community. So, honestly, it's never too late.
I would say it's never too late as well. If you don't get a chance to join a sorority or fraternity during your undergrad years, there's always the graduate chapter that you could also pursue membership.
I will say it truly is never too late, and I can say it from experience. When I was initiated, we had people who were graduating that same semester, and then people who were sophomores. So it truly is, we want quality people and people who are there for the right reasons, who have a heart for our organization. So it really is never too late.
I have to say the same thing. It's never too late. Just know that if you were to join an organization at that last moment, remember why you chose to join that organization, and that you're going to continue to work after you're gone.
What advice would you give to those interested in joining the National Panhellenic Council?
Do your research. Do your research. I served as a camp counselor in 2011 and 2012, and I have these conversations almost every other day. And one thing I would definitely say is to definitely do your research. Again, we don't bite. Talk to us. Get to know us. When you come to events, speak. Don't sit there and like a spot on the wall, because we don't know who you are. At the end of the day, you guys have to remember, we've been through this process before. So honestly, just keep trying over and over. Like, again, you don't necessarily know. Just because somebody doesn't acknowledge you, keep trying. I'm not the only person in my organization, so if you don't feel like I'm giving you the time of day, then clearly you can talk to other organizations. No, honestly, clearly, like, you can talk to other members within the organization. Become friends. Like, honestly, that's basically what it is.
Again, as basic as it seems, I mean, don't choose a fraternity or a sorority based on the way they stroll or their colors or any of that stuff. Do your research and find out what the fraternity or sorority is really about. What are its objectives, and whether you fit within that fraternity or sorority. Don't go around changing yourself to fit into what the fraternity or sorority already has.
Aside from research, I would say to get to know the members, because the members of the organization are like your first look of the organization. So if you're getting to know the members of the organization, you're just like, oh my gosh, like, she's horrible, then that organization is probably not for you. You have to get to know the members to see if you can see yourself being a part of their organization as well.
Do your research.
The advice that I think I would give is, I lost my train of thought, y'all. I had it all prepared.
I think the biggest thing I would say, along with doing your research, don't just do your research on the organization that may have piqued your interest. Look into every organization, see what every organization is about. Someone may have just stuck out to you in a public place, but it might be another organization out there that better suits what you're about, what you enjoy, and then it gives you the opportunity to, go out to these other events of these other organizations and see maybe these brothers are just people you rather call your brothers.
I remember. Okay, my biggest piece of advice is remember, when you're entering or joining these organizations, it's not about you. Like, you're joining this organization to be a part of it as a whole and to work for the common purpose of the whole. Okay, it's about family. You're serving your community. You're there for each other. Like, I think a lot of people join some of these organizations or they think they want to because they're trying to get something in it for themselves. And at the end of the day, it's about the whole.
Okay, the last question for the night is Sigma Gamma Rho sorority inactive. The 6 chapters you see sitting in front of you are the 6 active chapters here at Florida State University. Thank you.
At this time, this concludes the question portion of Meet the Greeks. But if you look around the room, you'll see that every organization has its own station, so please feel free to go around to every table and interact with each member. Also, you can follow the FSU NPHC on Twitter at FSU_.
Hey, you in my shop, bro.
Thank you.